I command you, in the name of the Knights of Camelot, to open the doors of this sacred castle.
Oh, hi there. Welcome back to 60 Second Rex. You've caught me once again reading from this month's book page. We are now in July, and July's theme is We've Cracked the Code, which seems to be all about mysteries. So you think I'd be telling you about a mystery. However, they have this section in here under SFF, which is short for Science Fiction Fantasy Retellings, called Something Old, Something New. And there's an Arthurian retelling, a Peter Pan retelling, and a Chronicles of Narnia retelling. So my interest is completely on the science fiction fantasy section. So I'm going to tell you about one of my most anticipated reads for this year, which is The Bright Sword by Lev Grossman. If you're a fan of The Magicians, the book series, or the TV show, then this one might be for you. If you're a fan of Arthurian legend retellings, then this one also might be for you. Let's see what Ralph Harris has to say about it. Arthur is dead and the round table lies shattered in The Bright Sword. By Lev Grossman, author of best-selling Magicians trilogy, the story begins with Colum of the Isle of Mull, a character who does not appear in Arthurian legend, embroiled in a duel with an unnamed knight. The knight spits uncouth insults about Colum's mother, and at the end of their brawl, Colum makes his first extremely messy kill of the book. This resolution to a duel outlines how most plot points are resolved in The Bright Sword. Someone inevitably dies and no one is happy. Once Colum gets to Camelot, none of the remaining knights are particularly happy either. After a few chapters about Colum, a few Knight of the Round Table members will be introduced, and Grossman will suspend the main story to relate how the knight arrived at Camelot. Those with little patience will likely find The Bright Sword frustrating, but readers willing to savor the book over many nights will find each chapter a neatly arranged miniature adventure of its own. Traditionally minimal side characters in the story of Arthur, like Sir Bedivere, Sir Palamedes, and even Dagnit the Fool, receive intricate backstories that erase the mythological buildup around each figure, viewing them instead in a far more human and often modern light. At once full of desperate hope and grievous loss, The Bright Sword is a moody reflection of Arthur's tale. This saga is not marked by optimism, but instead a dignified cynicism. Colum and his endearing band of Round Table rejects, album out soon, simply live and persevere, knowing that if they do not try to bring peace to the now fractured Britain, no one else will. It sounds like this has some similarities with our protagonist in the Magicians trilogy, so I'm excited for that. And I also saw the first page leading into the chapter, and it quoted Monty Python. So I am now triple sold on reading this book, and I'm considering it for a future science fiction fantasy book club pick. So if you too would be interested in reading The Bright Sword, comment down below if you would want to see that for a book club discussion in the future. And with that, that is book page in July. You can grab your own copy physically at our library in there, or you can visit at the end of this. I'll have a link to where you can find book page online, and at the first of the new month it changes over to the new issue, but you can also view back issues as well. So if you were interested in some of the mysteries that they cover, or perhaps some of the more scarier if books could kill, you can find that this issue and more over there. And either you want to read The Bright Sword or you don't, and I will see you next week.
Your master, that we have been charged by God with a sacred quest. If he will give us food and shelter for the night, he can join us in our quest for the Holy Grail.
Well, I'll ask him, but I don't think he'll be very keen. He's already got one, you see?
What?
He says they've already got one.
Are you sure